pillow. It's just another pillow. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, whatever time it is. CNC SciFi is in the house.
Hey, somebody might be watching in Australia. You never know.
You never know. You never know where everybody's at. So, my name is Cliff, and I'll be one of your hosts out of the three, the trifecta for this week. To my, I guess it'd be my right. On my left is my brother, Big Nate.
What up? What up?
And then to his left is my beautiful daughter, one of my daughters, Christina. And this week we are going to discuss, as always, The Mandalorian. Not as always, but last couple of weeks for this show has been about The Mandalorian. And this time we are on episode 6, chapter 14, I believe it is.
It is.
And this one started off with a bang, but I'm just going to give a light summary of
Wait,
what
hold
happened.
on.
What, we're supposed to be summarizing.
Hold on, you see that gray beard? That happened in one episode.
So, in summary, and I should actually have the Reverend Deacon Doctor do a summary since
No.
he does summations.
You got it.
So, in a slight summary, the show started off with Mando actually getting to the planet he needed to go to for once. Surprising. And this was a very short episode, which pissed me off until I actually saw the episode. And I was like, okay, well, I guess it was a good reason it was short.
He had to get the typhoon. Go ahead.
Right. So he got the typhoon, took the kid up there, and the kid wasn't doing what he was supposed to do because he's a kid and he's a baby, whatever. And after so long, he started doing his thing, and then ship landed. Not just any ship, but us Star Wars veterans know the ship. And I'm trying not to get too far into it. We'll get into it later.
Don't get too far into it, but let me just say the look on your face when that ship came up.
But
yes.
My boy, our boy, who everybody's been waiting on, who we all thought was dead, Boba freaking Fett showed up.
Woo!
And that led to a whole bunch of things. And then after that, the new empire, the leftover empire, the remnants of the empire showed up to get the baby.
The remnants of the empire.
They showed up to get the kid. So Moff Gideon's forces. Long story short, they did end up getting the kid. And that is basically, we left off with Mando at the end, going to do some stuff to gather some people to start, go get the baby. Because they got 2 episodes left, I think, in this season. I think it's 8, like the last one.
Mm-hmm. 2 episodes left.
So, next week will be big fight, and then it'll have maybe some of that fight will lead into the next episode in episode 8. But
I still think we're going to be. I think they're going to leave that last episode for the culmination of the big showdown, the whole ching. I'm thinking that last episode is going to be hot and somewhat of a cliffhanger, so it keeps you leaving, wanting episode 3.
Mm-hmm. So that was the summary. Now we're going to start getting into spoilers. And we going to get deep into spoilers because Boba Fett was in it. And he wasn't just a side character like he was in the episode with the folks on Tatooine. He was in it. And when I say in it, between him and Fennec, who was played by Ming Hua, who is the voice of Mulan, and was also May on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. There was so much ass kickery. I don't even know how many stormtroopers
Oh my god.
Boba took out by himself with a staff and a long rifle.
Wait. Let's step by step by. But just know, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen the episode, turn off now.
No, yeah, you need to turn off right now. So I'm glad he caught me. Because I was about to go off. Because I'm really about to go off. I'm about to get into it. Oh, shoot. I didn't mean to do like that. Yeah, that's better. So, that being said, I don't know. I'm going to let you take off with it, Nate.
Man, okay. First off, so Grogu's sitting over there. They're in the chips. They're getting the Typhon. And he still called him Grogu, huh? Grogu, huh? And I was laughing at that. I said he's still shocked he knew his name. But then they're playing along with that Grogu's favorite ball that he keeps stealing, and they go over it and then they land on Typhon, right? And then he says, "Well, I can't land actually, on the hill. The rest of it's gonna have to be, I can't remember exactly what he said. Gonna have to be by air or something. I can't remember what he said." And also, you see Grogu ears flapping in the wind because they flying with the jetpack, which was hot, and you hear Grogu going "Yeep whippy yippee" and all that. I was enjoying that. I said, "Get him, Grogu, enjoy yourself." And so, then they land on the mount, and he said, and it looks all dilapidated, and nobody been trimming the weeds, and he's like, "Does this look Jedi-ish to you?" And I'm like, "What does Jedi-ish look like?"
Actually, wait a minute. Actually, if you look at all the stories, even the not the Halloween, but even the Christmas special they just did for Lego, every place that the Jedi end up going is old and dilapidated. And that's because, think about it, Jedi Order's been gone for 50 years by this point. So nobody's there to keep the stuff up. And even before that, they didn't keep up with their stuff, which is ridiculous. Here you have these basically monks, Buddhist monks is what they were tailored off of. Buddhist monks and samurais are what they're a combination of. You have them there, and they're not taking care of, they don't even go out and take care of the stuff they have. They just concentrate on Coruscant. And that's possibly why one of the reasons they lost, the way they did, because they were so focused on, they just lost themselves, put it that way. But go ahead.
Well, I mean, you're selfless beings, so they're not so much worried about material possessions. But, so they get there, and they're on the mount. He sits them down. The kid doesn't know what to do. But, of course, as usual, some sort of, it's always a symbolism of some sort of peaceful animal flying by, because the butterfly went by, which I thought was incredible symbolism. As usual, Star Wars does amazing with the incredible symbolism. And then he turns his back to look to see who lands, and Grogu is one with the Force. I mean, he was sitting there straight out. Did you notice his hands were like, I said, my man Grogu deep in it.
Actually, he looked like Edward Norton at the end of Hulk when he was sitting there concentrating.
He looked older. Like I tell you, normally he looked like a baby, but the Force, he looked older and he was focused. And poor Mando. Mando's like, time to go, puts his hand in there, and zap! That went flying.
Wait a minute now. He didn't just say, excuse me. He didn't just say time to go for no reason.
Oh, no.
There was a ship that landed. He had no idea who it was.
Right, he had no idea.
Those of us who have went through Empire Strikes Back, Attack of the Clones, and Return of the Jedi knew exactly what ship it was. And that was Slave One, which is Jango Fett or Boba Fett's dad's ship.
Right. Then now Boba's flying. And I mean, when he landed, I started yelling. My poor kid, who I'm trying to get into the Star Wars, he was like, "Who is that?" I was like, "That's Boba Fett." And I didn't know if he was coming to steal the kid, but I really liked the way they did that. I really liked the way
he came for his dad's armor.
He came for. I mean, it was an honorable thing because we all thought he was going to try to come and get the bounty, but no, he was like, "No, I just want my armor."
Well, my question is, how did he lose his armor? We know he fell into the Sarlacc pit in Return of the Jedi, thanks to Han.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next thing we know is the marshal in that city on Tatooine, played by Timothy Olyphant. He has the armor.
But there's a lot of different theories. I think I read one theory where they said, he sat in there and the armor saved his life. That's why he had so many, damage to his face, and that the armor saved him, and he was able to let off a bomb after being in there for like 20 years.
Well, but the Tuscan Raiders also destroyed it, supposedly. That's
Yeah,
what also came out. The Tuscan Raiders in that town, they somehow destroyed the Sarlacc
but
pit.
think about it. After you sitting there being ate up, even
Mm-hmm.
though your armor's giving you some protection, he had to be weak. And I really, really just think that it was stolen off of him as a weakened state. That's what I think. But if you noticed, that by the way, that weaponry, that's Tuscan Raider weaponry.
Mm-hmm.
That staff that he went and kicked all sorts of. I had to pause it, like, dang, I had to rewind a little bit, like, show that again. Wow. And I was like, damn, that's the Tuscan Raider, that's the Sand People weapon. I was like, so obviously it seems as if when they got out, or they got him out, or they worked in conjunction to get him out, he stayed with the Sand People, learned the Sand People ways, had on the Sand People clothing, had a staff of the Sand People or Tusken Raiders, and it seems as if they helped him survive.
Mm-hmm.
And then he turned around and knew their ways, and man, he used that staff all day. And should we get into that fight? I want Christina to talk about that fight.
Well, I'm gonna let her take the lead here.
Okay. So where were we? So like, Boba Fett approaches and he's just like, "So can I have my armor back?" And Mando's
Right.
like, "Are you a Mandalorian?" And he's like, "No, but that armor's mine."
I don't think he said he wasn't a Mandalorian. He said he was for himself. I think Mando said that. Did you follow the creed?
Yeah.
And Boba was like, I don't follow anyone. I don't follow anything.
Yeah.
I'm my own man, and that could be attributed to, he lost his father at the age of 8.
Yeah.
His father taught him the ways of being a bounty hunter, but he teach him the ways of being a Mandalorian. And you got to also remember that Mando is part of a sect of the Mandalorians that say you can't take your armor off, you can't show your face, blah 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 blah.
Exactly.
So, but go ahead.
So that all happens, and then we find out the Fennec is there.
Yeah.
Mando's like, "You're gonna have to take. Like, I can't just no, I'm not gonna let you take it, and you'll have to kill me." And Boba Fett's like, "Who said anything about killing you? I have a sniper trained on the kid."
Man.
He recognizes her voice because she's like, "Yo, what's good? I never miss. You know this."
Right. And she doesn't miss. And he realized, oh, Fennec. And I was like, oh. And I mean, did you see? He was like, wait, Fennec.
He's like, I thought you were dead.
Thought you were dead. And then when she turned around and showed her stomach with all those hydraulics in there, and
yeah,
I was like,
that was crazy.
Wow. So she's like
an entire piece of machinery in your stomach. It's insane.
Right, because all of your innards were gone, and he had to replace them with literally machinery.
With literally machinery. She's like 2 separate pieces held together by something in the middle.
Right, and I was like, wow, that's crazy. I was like, cyborg? Wow.
Literally.
But it was so cool in the fact that they brought her back. She was there, and she was like, now I am, I'm in his debt, and now I'm with him. And Boba was just like, all I want is my armor, which I thought was so honorable because he really could have, like she said, the bounty was so high on the child that they could have bought 10 Mandalorian armors.
Mm-hmm.
But yet and still, all they want was their armor. And
well, she had a debt to Boba.
Right, but then Boba was like, get my armor. If I get my armor back, I'll make sure you're safe. And then, which is cool because that just leads up to the last 2 episodes. I want to jump. But I'm talking about when they land, then all of a sudden the remnants of the Empire show up. And man,
before we get into that, so Mando takes off his damn jetpack and never picks it back up.
Oh, you were annoyed by that too, huh?
Why?
That annoys you too, huh?
And I'm like, okay, the stormtroopers landed, and then he starts running up the hill, and I'm like, dude, You have a jetpack literally right next to
That
you.
was
What are you doing?
convenience.
What are you doing?
That
Yeah,
was convenience.
convenient.
And so, like, the whole rest of the episode, I'm like, is he just not gonna go back for his jetpack so he can get to the kid faster if something goes down? No, okay,
No,
that's
no.
fine. He's just gonna conveniently
why do
forget
that?
he has a whole piece of armor that can make him fly to get back to the kid. That's fine. Whatever.
Very convenient. But I mean, remember, Boba Fett asked him to put it down as part of like that triple truce so they could talk, and then he just never picked it back up, which made me go, "What? Put it back on your back? What are you doing?"
Right.
Yeah.
But that's the jetpack. It's covered in Beskar, first of all, so it's like.
Well, not only that, everybody had brought back out their guns. Fennec and Boba had brought back out their guns.
Right.
They were fighting on his side. Why not pick up
Why
your
not
jetpack?
Get your jetpack.
Yes.
And
Well,
it was definitely a purposeful choice, like by the director.
No, it was a writing
like behind the
thing.
scenes, like by the directors. Like that was a purposeful choice for him to not go back because it set.
Oh yeah,
up
it
for
was
literally the rest.
written.
Yeah, but it was too convenient. That was just too convenient because he could have easily done what he needed to do.
Yeah, of course.
And before we get any deeper into this, let me just say, shout out to Boba Fett once he got his armor because I loved his shape was just like mine. That was excellent. He was not in shape at all, but he was still kicking ass. He was in shape for an older Mandalorian, but he was not in the Clone Wars era shape. He should have,
Well,
he
you
would have
giving
been
him a shout out for a dad bod. Is that what
exactly.
this is all about?
Damn Skippy. Damn Skippy. A bounty hunter built like a dad. What's the problem with that? I don't see the problem.
The stormtroopers land. They start doing their stormtrooper thing and missing every shot because stormtroopers. And Fennec's just like 1, 2, 3, 4, just all of them, every single one. And they're just like, go around. And freaking the one stormtrooper's like, what you mean go around? Do you not see literally everyone dying around us? I don't understand.
And then he still tries to go around and gets killed. And
he gets killed literally the next 2
and then his commander goes, no, keep going forward.
Go! Yeah. And while she's picking them off like pieces of candy, Boba Fett's like, I'm just gonna take my gun, which is it definitely looked like a Tusken Raider gun.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you were talking about that, I was like, oh, that makes sense. He has the gun and the staff.
Mm-hmm.
So he starts shooting. He does his thing, and then they end up getting separated. And he's like, I'm just gonna wait. And then the stormtrooper comes around a rock, bam, just right in the face.
And I mean, dang, that Tusken Raider staff,
He went off.
That was awesome. I mean, I was like, Boba Fett kicked what?
You saw armor flying off of stormtroopers.
Seriously, did you see the way the leg was up in the air when the dude was not? I said, you know I'm stupid. I'm an instigator. I had to pause that and go, I need to replay that.
So let me ask y'all a question. He's been out of the game for probably about 30 years now. No, it's only been 5 years since Return of the Jedi. Actually, so this is 5 years after Return of the Jedi. So Nate, he was only in the Sarlacc pit maybe for a year or something.
A couple years, got it.
So does he go back to bounty hunting?
Well, we won't find
Or does
that.
he go back to a soldier of fortune? Or what does he do?
Well, right now, what he's got to do is help Mando get the kid back. So we'll find that out. Maybe the third season. But right now, he still has what we consider a life debt to Mando. Because, he got his armor back. So now he's still in debt to Mando. And he says, until that child is returned to you safely, I still owe you a life debt. So, and I'm trying not to fast forward. I'm trying to take it step by step because the ending, I have so many thoughts and I'm trying to be cool. But anyway, so Boba's fighting, then a second wave of ship full of stormtroopers lands. and they're still kicking butt, and then they flee. I love how they flee.
No. Wait a minute now. Wait. You are missing some key things. When that second wave lands, Boba looks at Mando's ship and he
Right.
goes, "Oh yeah, there's something in there I need."
Oh yeah, and he just went in and got his
He
armor
went in
back.
there and got it. Finnick and Mando are basically outgunned and surrounded. And all of a sudden, you see a grenade. Grenade blows up, and here comes Boba Fett. Like, oh, it's game on. So he continues while they're standing there just to kill everything in his sight.
Everything.
Just everything. Just
And then the
And he was
stormtroopers are like, okay, we're gonna go. We're gonna
yeah,
go
we're gonna
back."
leave now. We're gonna retreat.
Retreat!
And then
So
start
they
taking off,
retreat. Mm-hmm.
And Boba Fett's like, no. I think not. No. And he just
Right.
he scans, he aims, boom, fire.
What I did like was he did mention how he was actually aiming for the other ship, and you
Aim for
did
the
see him aim for the other ship.
Yeah.
But somehow he still, the luck of the whatever you want to call it, you know, he ended up destroying both ships.
I love how he said, I was aiming for the other one.
He's like, look,
But-
I'm old. My aim is not what it used to be.
Mhm.
Look, cut me some slack. I just got out the Sarlacc pit.
Mhm,
Cut me some
mhm.
slack. You know, but
But
I will
also,
say this.
I just,
Go ahead.
for one, I understand Mando coming to help her. Like, 100% totally valid. Understood. After Boba Fett blows up the stormtroopers, all you see is a beam that blows up Mando's ship.
Yeah,
I'm like,
Mando's
okay.
ship has, so finally his ship is gone. It's over.
Yeah.
The Razor Crest
And
is
I'm
no
like,
more.
okay, go back to the kid. They're all just freaking standing there. Casually. And I'm like,
No. He scans and says, "Huh, I wonder what could have hit my ship." And we're all sitting there.
like, bro.
Okay, you just saw your ship get blown up,
Go
and you're
back.
still sitting down there. So
Someone
he
go
goes
back.
running to get the kid. And
Running.
again, to Christina's point, where's your jetpack? Where
The
is
one that,
why
you can remote control.
Boba has a jetpack? Why didn't Boba jetpack up there?
Boba went back to his ship.
But going back to his ship.
Yes, he did. That's right.
It's like, okay, sure. But also,
Yeah,
like,
because she told him to go back to the ship, or she
Yeah.
told him to go to the ship. Yeah.
Yeah, FedEx said go back get your
stupid
ship.
instant mistake.
Mhm.
Yeah, but again, like, okay, let's we didn't skip a couple things about how many times Mando tried to break through that force field.
Oh God.
Was,
Oh God! At some point, you got it was kind of like the people in the kung fu movies where they stand around and see one guy get their butt kicked, then see the other guy get his butt kicked, then the next guy goes in and get his butt kicked, and they still standing there like, "Huh? I think I can take him." No,
Well,
the 10 people on the ground have just should have made you realize this ain't gonna work for you.
yeah, that's
At
like
all.
And
that
the
was
last
like
time he tried, he got knocked out. He was literally knocked unconscious.
Yes, and that's what took him so long to go help Finnick because he was knocked out for a while.
I mean,
And what got me was as soon as he ran away, the freaking beam
Of
went down that was
course,
around the
literally,
kid. I was like,
Of course.
why don't
As
Okay.
expected.
as a tactician, and I'm not that great of a tactician, but I'm somewhat of a tactician is from chess and stuff, which I'm not the greatest at, but I do like to use my brain. If you have a woman that never misses, why is she not up on the tactical advantage of where that kid
Literally.
is
Why
shooting
is she
down into there? And Mando and Boba are hand to hand or gun to gun. Why not use
Makes
all the resources in front of you instead of her just sitting there? You know?
Like,
well,
he
wait,
is literally
wait. Rewind. Why didn't he grab his jetpack, grab her, fly her to the top, then fly back down and get the hand to hand while she's sitting at the top picking folk off?
We never
Convenience.
said Mando was
Convenience. It was all convenience for the introduction of our droid Dark Troopers. And for folks that don't know what Dark Troopers are, they were machines built to resemble stormtroopers. But you know, they were designed to just kick ass much better than a stormtrooper can.
I was about to say they were designed with one thing in mind: to kill efficiently and as quickly as possible, and to be so battle tough that they could walk in and just wipe people out, no matter how much damage they took. I mean, they were the elite trooper.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, and then the dark trooper, and I love when Moff Gideon smiles when they released the dark troopers. Oh my god, that was great sinister. I enjoyed it. Are you still typing, Cliff?
Huh?
Are you still typing?
That's not me. I don't know what that is. I'm not typing anything.
I've been wondering what that noise is for the last 5 minutes.
It might be like weird feedback because I don't have my AirPods in anymore. Because like when I have my AirPods in, there's like lag, so I just took them out. So it's probably me.
Oh,
Okay.
all right. So I was sitting over here when the dark troopers got released. They looked so sinister. They looked so tough. I was like, damn. And then that's when I went back to like Christina. I said, put the jetpack on. Put the jetpack on. Put the jetpack on. Go out there and fight. But it was left there for convenience.
I'm just gonna run up the mountain. I'm just gonna run.
Well, maybe he needed his 10,000 steps.
Get him later.
You have a 50-year-old child from a race that is practically extinct sitting up there, and you're not
by himself.
Yeah. And you're just sitting there letting them just chill. Somebody should have been guarding him. Somebody should have been guarding him. And if anybody, should have been Mando. And if it wasn't Mando, it should have been Finnick. Should have been Finnick.
Yeah, the entire time. I was like, why are you not just staying up there with the kid? Like, I completely understand wanting to help Finnick. Like, 100%. But also, the kid is your responsibility. Like, why did you not just stay up there? You're just like, okay, I'm going to protect you. I'll be back as I literally leave you behind. What?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Worst father ever.
Well,
even no, don't wail. Boba Fett was always at the side of Jango Fett. Always at the side of Jango.
Oh, well, I mean, Darth Vader's a little bad.
No. I'm talking about this was before. This is when Jango was, or this is when Boba was little. He was always at his dad's side. Always.
Yeah, but you know, and I'm not saying you're wrong or right, but I want to say this. I mean, in his mind, he's thinking he's got to defeat them so they don't get to him. He's not thinking about a dark trooper. But like you both said, as soon as he left the last time, like 10 seconds after he left, we were done. And then he falls to the side. And if he'd have had his jetpack on, he could have got the kid and flown up out of there. The problem with that is that then his Razor Crest gets destroyed, you know, so he can't leave. And so now he's going to be dependent on whatever Boba and Fennec do, you know.
Yes.
So, but I
and
mean,
even worse now, he's talking about he went to our magistrate, played by Gina Carano, to free one of the folks that had killed some Republic troopers when they raided that prison ship. But before they even get to that, there were some questions that I didn't even think about that maybe a lot of folks had. Was Jango a Mandalorian? And Boba proved that. Boba proved that he had his family tree inside of the armor.
Right.
Which showed this is my dad. He fought in the Mandalorian Civil Wars. And I'm his son, and this is where it shows I'm his son.
Yeah, his dad was a foundling. He fought in the Mandalorian Civil Wars. He is a Mandalorian.
Yep. So that deads that whole conversation. Deads it.
Right. You know, and then, I mean, but then he goes to her to break him out because he's the only one, I guess, he knows that could track this ship. But I will tell you now this is where I had to go take one of my pressure pills. I've been fine all day. But when Moff Gideon is walking to the cell where the child is, with Grogu, and
Grogu is having a ball.
no, he's not having a ball. He's mad as hell. And
yes, he's mad, but he is having fun at the same time a little bit. He's using his anger, but you see what Ahsoka was talking about, which is he's dangerous. He's dangerous.
I mean, he was kicking those two guys' butt, just choking them and throwing them every which way, and with using the Force to do so. And I love, oh man, Moff Gideon sat back like, nope, don't break this up.
I'm not going in there.
No. Let's enjoy the show.
Because not only let's enjoy the show, he knows it's going to wear the kid out. Right. Just like any kid.
He's tired.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which then lends me back to, remember when Ahsoka Tano said that that Grogu's memory got better?
Mm-hmm.
I think he's had this prior, and I understand his power wanes and goes, and he knew he was going to tire out, and he did. He's like, now you need some sleep. And he was just so worn out, this poor kid.
But he's still young. He is technically probably about a 3 or 4 year old, and Terran years.
Is he even 3 or 4?
He's lived 50 years, but technically Yoda lived 900, so Yoda was probably in his 90s or something. So so he's probably about 10 times a year. So he might be 5 years old, maybe. Yeah. No, actually, it's not 10 times. Yeah, 10 times.
Yeah, you're right.
So he might be 5 or 4 years old. It's probably about. So he tires out quick. Especially because he hasn't used his powers in 50 freaking years. Or however long.
However long it was. My thing is, but okay, this is where my blood pressure went bad. And I know why they did what they did. But I will tell you, it's bad. I was so invested. I was like, I need a drink. I didn't get one, but I needed one. When they shot Grogu with the stun gun,
I was so bad.
I was so mad. I ain't never been. Okay. I was like, you shot a baby, you mother. Oh man, I was hot. Not so hot.
It's the Empire. What do you expect him to do?
He gonna fall asleep anyway.
Doesn't mean I wasn't upset.
Let me see if I got this straight. This kid who was strong with the Force literally just picked up 2 grown ass men, threw them around the room, almost killed them, tired himself out, and now we're just supposed to walk him, just put cuffs on him instead of stunning his ass and knocking him out because he's a baby. Did you not just see what the baby did?
Yeah, I saw what the baby did.
Just because I knew it was gonna happen doesn't mean that I'm not mad that it happened.
Right.
I sat back like, that's what you get for stealing them cookies.
You just don't like Grogu. You do not like
He's
Grogu.
a cookie thieving, egg genocidal little baby. I don't care what y'all say. That's what he is.
Grogu. That's a damn shame. How you not gonna like
that? The kid is fine. The kid is fine. But don't tell me he ain't a little jerk.
He is not a jerk. He is a little baby. All babies 3 years old are jerks.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know that all babies sit around and commit genocide when they know they commit genocide.
But they do eat eggs. You put a boiled egg in front of a 3-year-old, he's gonna get ate.
Mm-hmm. That wasn't a boiled egg. That was a raw egg inside of a container that he kept opening and eating.
Because they was delicious.
It was food.
No.
How often do toddlers turn down food? Even when you tell them no.
He was given food. He knew what he was supposed to be eating.
Man, come on, man. I done seen kids.
He had to treat him like Jackson.
Well, yeah, true. But the thing is, I know a 3-year-old that'll steal your French fries right now.
Yes. I know a 10-year-old that'll steal my French fries right now. Run away with laughing.
Come on, man.
I know a 24-year-old that will steal my French fries and walk away like, what? What? What's your point?
I was hungry.
See?
My
Like I
point
said.
is that was food, and that's a baby. And that baby didn't do nothing to nobody. That baby is now needs saving. That's terrible.
Did you just say the baby didn't do nothing to nobody?
They still had a kid. They still
The
had
baby didn't do nothing to nobody.
They had a kid. The kid was
The
2 minutes
baby
old.
did not do nothing to nobody. He almost killed
He did
the
not.
marshal.
The
Yeah,
dog-
he didn't. He didn't. Remember when they was playing chess and Mando lost and he almost killed her? You forgot about that?
He was mad.
So your defense for anything this little bastard do is he's a kid.
Why you gonna call Grogu that name?
I just want to make sure I got this straight. So no matter what this little bastard do, it don't matter. You ain't gonna be happy until he sit there and choke out a dog or do some stuff like Anakin and sit there. I killed the women and the children.
Why are you calling this wonderful
You ain't
child?
gonna be happy.
Why do you call this wonderful child such harsh name?
Wonderful child, man. If you don't get the HE double hockey sticks out of here, that little bastard. Man, I'll get out of here. This little, oh my god.
Okay, but like, so when he was like throwing the stormtroopers around, literally the one thing I immediately thought of was that scene at the end of The Incredibles, Jack.
Yeah.
Where he was like, that's what him like, put me down. Literally, that's exactly what I thought of.
Now you see, Jack is a perfect example of a little kid that's a little rambunctious and does things, but he's still under control for the most part. For the most part, except in chapter 2. The part with the raccoon, did he eat the raccoon's children?
No, but he was ready to kill it.
Right, raccoon was gonna catch it.
Eyes.
Right, man. Come on, man.
Again,
You splitting hairs.
I ain't splitting no hair. Ain't nothing wrong with Jack. This little bastard. This little genocidal bastard. You got to remember what all this.
If you really think about it, Jack caused the death of Syndrome.
Yes, he did, but that's because Syndrome snatched him, and I'm pretty sure Gideon is gonna meet his end at the end by either the baby or by Mando's hand, one or the other. Did you like the little foreshadowing though? Also with Grogu with the whole Darksaber. There was a little foreshadowing with that. He's like, you're not old enough for this yet.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thought of turning into a dark side. Yeah, I got it.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say this though. I mean, but one of the things is now you've got Boba Fett. This is what I've been waiting to do. You got Boba Fett. You got Fennec. You got Mando, Cara Dune, and now you're probably gonna get because he's got to go get Ahsoka Tano.
Yeah.
And Bo-Katan, he might have to get all of them to go fight to get this baby back.
They're going to meet Bo-Katan because Bo-Katan is hunting Moff Gideon. So they're going to end up meeting her in some way, somehow.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
All of those forces are going to meld for the ultimate showdown.
Yes.
And why do you think that Beskar, I don't know,
Spear
survived?
Well, no. First of all, it's Beskar, so that's why it's gonna That's why it's gonna survive. But it survived. We all knew it was gonna be used against whoever has the Darksaber. That's a given.
I think this sets up, weirdly enough, a Mando Moff Gideon fight.
Yes. And if you saw in the last episode, at the end of the last episode, how good that holds up to a stormtrooper or to a Jedi.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, that sets up the ultimate fight, and it also sets up, okay, but who's the last person that's going to come help?
Oh, I think it's going to be Ezra. It's either going to be Ezra
I
or
swear it's gonna be Ezra.
or it could be something that nobody has thought of. Cal from the current Fallen Jedi storyline, the games, who was
Yeah,
played by the actor that was the Joker in the Gotham, the Fox Gotham show.
it could be Cal or it could be
Ezra, I don't think it's going to be Luke. I don't think it's going to be Luke at all.
But here's the issue. I mean, they do have somebody who looks like you, Luke, to play him.
I think it's too soon to bring Luke in there. I think Luke's going to show up when they have. First of all, if you guys didn't know, they're going to start filming the Obi-Wan Kenobi episode. No, they're going to start streaming his show. They're going to start filming it soon. Of all places, I saw mentioned Boston, so I'm just imagining him with a Boston accent, but I digress. Yeah. I don't know if that's true or if it was just a rumor on Twitter. I didn't deep dive into it. But I think Obi-Wan's going to show up eventually. Well, no, Obi-Wan's gone, so he can't show up.
Dead. He can't
Right.
show up.
So, and
I feel like Luke's not gonna show up until season 3.
no, Luke's not going to show up till season 3 because he's building. But although he's building a whole new Jedi Order, how long did it take him before he was ready to start?
That didn't happen yet. I don't think that.
Well, he's killed Vader. He's killed the Emperor. Well, he didn't kill Vader, but Vader's gone. Emperor's dead. It's been 5 years. What are the rebel? What is the New Republic doing? Because it still seems like everything is lawless. Just everything is just horrible. Nothing has changed. It's worse than it was under the Empire.
What is Leia doing right now?
Exactly. I don't know what Leia's doing.
Like, where are all the prominent people that we see in the next 3 years?
Lando ain't even showed up yet.
What are they doing?
I mean, but think about it. Right now, at this time, if you go back through the novels, Luke is going around the galaxy trying to find Force-sensitive people. So it almost makes sense that Luke would come out from this call. But that call might not, that coming of him might not happen, like you said, to season 3. But I think that's because he's actually going around the galaxy looking for Force-sensitive people. So it would make sense if he heeds the call. But I think in the immediate, it's Ezra. That's what I think.
Okay.
Ezra Bridger.
And if Ahsoka comes, and we have to think of it like this. When Ahsoka does show up, I think Sabine's going to be with her. I think the episode with the Jedi, when he met Ahsoka, happened before she went to go get Sabine to go get Ezra. Because she was looking for clues to where, oh my God. Oh my God, I can't think of his name. Thrawn is. She's looking for clues where Thrawn is because she knows Thrawn is alive. But she's trying to figure out where he is so she can find Ezra. So, and that's when she goes to get Sabine at the end of Rebels, and they end up going on a journey. So, I'm wondering if Sabine is going to be with her when they go to get go get Grogu, or if it's just going to be Ahsoka by herself.
Also, I also want to bring up the part with Cara Dune at the end, because like the way her reaction changed, I thought was like beautiful. Like,
once she found out he had the baby, she was like, "All bets is off."
How much the kid means to literally everyone on that side, because she was like, "I can't really help you because like I'm part of the New Republic now." And
she's a cop, and she shouldn't really be helping nobody break nobody out of jail.
Yeah, because he went there to look up someone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I mean,
she was like, pause.
Yeah, but she saw the testing that they did trying to make this Force sensitive, new stormtrooper. So all bets are off when they got the kid. They got to fight, and I don't know where Christina went, but
it seemed like she was having stream issues to begin with, or just Wi-Fi issues. But go ahead.
Well, she was having some issues because all of that
there she is
was from Christina.
Let me see. It says she's muted right now, but
I muted
Did you
on
unmute yourself?
purpose
Do you?
so we don't have that weird clicking thing.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
So yeah, all I was
Also,
saying
my friend
is,
brought up a good point.
What was
wait,
that?
what did your friend say? I couldn't hear you.
I said he brought up a good point, but you were in the middle of talking, so I'll get to it.
Go ahead.
What was the point?
So my friend said, because you said that according to everyone, Palpatine's dead, but we obviously know that Palpatine's alive.
No, he's obviously alive. That's why Gideon's working on all those clones and all that stuff. Right. Yes.
But you said Palpatine was dead, so he was like, "Wait, isn't Palpatine alive?" And we're like, "Oh yeah."
Well,
Yes.
as far as Luke is concerned,
As
he's
far
in the
as
background.
galaxy and, like, the whole,
As far as the
like,
galaxy is concerned, he's gone. I mean, and technically, this could be why the Empire stayed around as long as it did, because he wasn't actually gone. He was still manipulating things from the back. Because to me, it made no
Also-
sense. Go ahead.
Speaking of that, we were talking about Mace Windu on the vlog.
Yes.
Palpatine fell in the middle of a hole, and he's still alive.
He cloned himself. He cloned himself. And
But
it's
also,
possible.
who's to say that Mace Windu just didn't survive that fall?
No, it's more than possible. He could have landed on a ship that was flying by. I mean, it wasn't like there isn't traffic out there. And Jedis have been known to fall great distances and survive. I mean, heck, look at Darth Maul. He survived. And he was cut in half. All Mace just lost a hand.
On the Mandalorian, I'm going to scream. I'm going to scream.
Well, he wants to do it. Samuel L. Jackson went to the airwaves saying, "I want to do some more Mace Windu. Make it happen, Disney." So, I mean, you never know.
I don't think. So here's my issue with Mace. Mace was one of the driving forces that caused Anakin to never fit in and never really reach his potential, because he always had a chip on his shoulder about Anakin. And Anakin, you can't tell me Anakin didn't feel it or didn't know about it, and it didn't cause issues.
You know.
I mean, and then if you watch the last season of Clone Wars, and the way he just was dismissive of Ahsoka and all the stuff she's done and all the stuff she's been trying to do. Oh, I'm sorry, this is Jedi business, not for you, citizen. Oh, well, excuse the heck out of me. You the one that kicked me out at first without any proof, without even trying to do a deep dive. If it wasn't for Anakin, you would have never known there was somebody else that had done all this stuff. And so Mace taking care of Grogu would probably be one of the most horrible things, unless Mace has grown as a master, to me. Because he has no patience. No matter how much he teaches about patience, he doesn't have any. And he's a real stickler for the old ways.
Very much a stickler for the old ways. Very much a stickler for the old ways. But you never know. He might have been one of the masters that taught Grogu when he was in the temple. So you just don't know. So, you know, maybe he has a soft spot for Grogu. There's a lot of ways you can tie it into it. You know, but I agree with Christina. If all of a sudden Mace Windu walk in talking about you need to let Grogu go, I would probably have to pause the TV and run out the door screaming.
But Grogu, in all fairness, he needs to find his own way. And if his way is to go with, which I think they're building up to, that Mando is his family. And, you know, you could tell that foreshadowing when they were on the ship and Mando's like, yeah, if you're going to go with them and blah, blah, blah. And the kid's sitting there like, I'm going to go with them. I don't know them. I'm with you. You have been by my side for at least probably about 6-7 months now. I'm not going to want to go with nobody else. You let me steal some eggs. You let me kill some things. I don't think he's gonna go down the path of being a Jedi unless somebody is with them the whole time, training him on the side, which is more than possible because that's what happened on Rebels, right? Kanan was training Ezra, much to Kanan's chagrin, on how to be a Jedi. to the best of his
I
ability.
mean, I feel like it would be better if he didn't end up going the way of the Jedi, because like that's honestly what the last three movies is like all about.
Mhm.
Is like diverting from the Jedi ways because they stopped freaking working.
And eventually, when this season is over, we will go through all the movies and go over some things. Some of the movies will be harder to get through, like The Last Jedi and, you know, Clone Wars and Phantom Menace are going to be some hard ones to get through because Anakin, those wooden lines they gave him for his love story was just, oh, I don't like sand. Shut
I'm just gonna
up. Who says that to somebody when they're courting them? I don't like sun because it's coarse and it gets everywhere. Is that supposed to be attractive?
I know if my daddy, God rest his soul, Robert Banks was alive, and that boy would have been saying his it gets everywhere, my dad would have smacked fire him. Man up! Well, pow! I mean, he'd have smacked him right across the lip.
And just think about how much. And this is the last thing I'm going to say about the other movies before we get back to Mandalorian. Think about how much Anakin was screaming inside when at the end of Rise of the Skywalker, Rey plants his freaking sword, his lightsaber in sand. He hated sand. And what is she going to do? You bury my shit in sand. You whore.
First you take my name, now you bury my lightsaber.
Right, you done killed off my whole family line. My whole family line dead. They just dead. Unless Luke had, the only thing I think they can redeem it is if Luke had somebody like he did in the books, and the kid ends up showing up sometime. What's wrong, Nate?
Somebody was sending me a message.
Oh, okay. So, Christina, closing thoughts before we end this, because it's been an.
I'm just trying to decide if the next episode or episode 8 is gonna be the big battle. I feel like if they did it the next episode, like that would be fine, but it's also just like, well, then what is episode 8 gonna be?
But
also,
could you imagine them dragging it on though? Like it's gonna be like Dragon Ball at that point.
Yeah, true. But if they don't do it next episode, is next episode just gonna be like a filler, and they're just like gathering a bunch of allies?
I think they'll be gathering allies for the next one.
Yeah. So I feel like that's what's gonna happen. Big things for episode 8. I'm excited.
All right, and then for so for me and Nate, I'll let you have the last word on this one. For me, I think I'm wondering where they're going. I wonder if Moff Gideon is going to be around for the 3rd chapter. I don't think so. I think they're leading up to Thrawn showing up at the end of chapter 8, either showing up right after they get the baby back or showing up and taking the baby and leaving the heroes destitute, because it is a Star Wars trope that the second episode has some type of second season, second episode, second chapter has some type of loss. They lost the one guy in the first season, but who's to say what's going to happen is this second one. And then the other thing is who's going to show up. Who did Grogu summon when he was sitting at the temple? And I think it's either going to be Ezra or Cal. It might be Luke. I'm hoping it's not, because I don't. In a way, I think I'm like some of the other fans out there, and we're just tired of the Skywalkers, especially with what Disney did with the Skywalkers in the last 3 things, and we end up finding out that they're really not that super important, because evidently only a Palpatine is important. So that's my thoughts. And Nate, your final thoughts.
I just can't wait for the final battle. I don't even mind if the next episode is collecting pieces and them filling out their evil plan to drain Grogu of all of his blood to make force sensitive clones or whatever they're doing. I don't mind if they do that like a 2-part. The good side's collecting people for the battle, the Empire showing you their evil plan, and they start doing it, or bleeding as the kid dry. I don't mind that. I just can't wait for the final battle. I can't wait for the final episode. I don't think Moff Gideon's gonna survive again. I think Thrawn's gonna show up out of nowhere, which then leads it to Ezra Bridger. But in any event, I just really kind of my final thoughts is more of a shout out again to the creators and producers of this show. Every time I watch an episode, even though this one I could see the director's differences, every time I watch this show, I'm just impressed. I mean, to be able to see, I love female heroines, and I mean Fennec kicked some butt in this episode. And every episode, there's always
Cara Dune.
There's always these great,
Ahsoka.
strong female characters in this particular great work of the Mandalorian, and the writing is on point. You know, the symbolism of innocent life before he went into the Jedi trance with the little butterfly. It's just always wonderfully done. You know.
Now, Nate, your final thoughts brought something to my mind, and we have not thought about this. We know they're using Grogu to, create force-sensitive things.
Right.
If you recall, Palpatine did not get busy to have a granddaughter and a son. It was from a failed clone experiment. I don't know if y'all knew that.
Yeah, I know.
So it is more than possible that what happens to Grogu does end up creating the failed clone that is Rey's father, and thusly creating Rey. So it's more than possible that not only the mix of Palpatine's dark side energy and Grogu's light side energy, although I think Grogu is right now more of like a neutral. He's light and dark. Lost Christina. No, she's back. I think that it is possible that the clones they are working on, not only will they be, lead to the Supreme Leader Snoke and the re-rise of Palpatine, but they could also lead to the creation of Rey.
Right. But I mean, we know Snoke is going to somehow be created by this, whatever they do. And that's why they got to get the baby back, because they got to get some of that blood to be able to start the wheels in motion to create Snoke. So, I mean, but it's just amazing how all of these lines and all of these interwoven parts of this story, it just always gets told in a certain way. And Mandalorian, I mean, it's just great. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I know I shouldn't be on Dave Filoni's the way I am, but this dude is incredible. And the writing is great. This particular episode, I was a little displeased with the leaving of the jetpack. That was too convenient. I agree with that. But I know why they did it, so he didn't have the ability to be able to chase the Dark Jedi. I know it's a setup. I get it. It was a little too convenient. But all in all,
Dark Troopers, yeah. So
the Dark Troopers. I mean, but sorry about that. If I misspoke. My point is that between Dave Filoni, I mean, this is just an excellent show, and it's been really good. And even though that was kind of a lob with leaving the jetpack, this was still an excellent episode. And my mouth was I was just like, they got him. And it was just like that.
Oh, we all knew that they was going to eventually get him, but to Christina's point, just because you know doesn't mean it's going to make you feel good.
But
I
like
think-
I said,
Mhm.
shout out to them for making it awesome. This has
Yep.
been a great series and a great show.
And I think this is kind of what the folks were hoping for in sequels. Something with solid writing. I don't think anybody cared that they had a female lead, but the point they had a female lead that had so many over-the-top powers and just a disjointed story did not help. But I digress. But I want to thank y'all all for joining. Again, below me is Christina, and to my left is Big Nate. I am Cliff or Draconis, depending on how you know me. And I want to thank y'all for joining CNC SciFi Vlog. And we will see y'all in a week. Many blessings and good night.
Good night.